idea how cool it is to be up here with all these amazing women. I think many of you know that I've spent most of the last 35 years of my life searching for joy with my camera, capturing new babies, brides, family reunions, and colorful landscapes. But it wasn't until I started traveling to third world countries with my camera that I discovered my true passion, purpose, and joy. So tonight, I'm going to take you on a little journey with me to a tiny village in Malawi on the east side of Africa. I traveled there with a group from Copper Creek Church in Champaign on what was called a relationship building mission. We weren't going to build a building. We weren't going to dig a well. We were there to be in relationship with the people of Africa. I stayed with a family in the village in a tiny house with 3 small rooms, dirt floors, and no running water. Alice gathered the food while Dorothy cooked greens over the open fire. And neighbors stopped by to teach me how to carry supplies on my head, which didn't go so well, by the way. Uncle Walter waited for the moon to rise so we could make the long walk home. And after dark, we studied the Bible by candlelight. No running water, no inside bathroom, no kitchen sink, just an uncanny sense of abundance. Sharing life with them, I was humbled by their hospitality and ambushed by their joy. I woke up at dawn to the sound of women's voices laughing. I grabbed my camera and I ran out to the road to see these 4 women walking to the market. And they were laughing and singing and having such a great time. I just wish I knew the stories they were telling. So over the next week or so, I had a chance to kind of do life with the women of Lisanjala. We talked together, we laughed together, we danced a lot together. We sat down and shared long talks about life and customs in our villages. I showed one woman a picture, an aerial shot of U of I campus that I had taken a couple years ago. And she looked at me with this questioning face and said, "Does anyone in your village own a car?" Well, talking to them, I really realized we talked a lot about life. And what I found out is that we were really more alike than we were different. That we had the same hopes and dreams for our kids, the same concerns about health and aging parents and teenagers who wouldn't behave. And then it occurred to me, what if I hadn't said yes to this trip and ignored that voice inside of me urging me to go? What if I'd been afraid to step out of my comfort zone? What if I'd held on so tightly to the gifts God had given me that I missed a chance at real joy? Now, I realize that not all of us can go to Malawi. Everybody's soul journey is different. But I know that we each have opportunities right here to build relationships with each other in our families, in our workplaces, in our volunteer jobs, in our neighborhoods. And I think that's how the idea of the 7 questions came up. The She Said people sat down and said, what can we do to make tonight keep going? What can we do to foster relationships with the people outside of this room? And so we came up with 7 questions. If you turn to the back of your program, you'll see the questions. Questions like, what makes you unique? What would you do if you weren't afraid? So we're hoping that you'll take those questions out and use them and let them be the start of new relationships with people. And then I got to thinking, well, what would happen if we took those same 7 questions and took them somewhere outside of Champaign, maybe somewhere where people look different than me and have different customs than I do? What would it look like to sit down with women in another country and go through the 7 questions? So that's exactly what we're going to do. I don't know if you saw the poster in the hallway as you came in, but we're going to Haiti on the first ever She Said Soul Journey. On May 19th, a dozen of us will travel from here to Haiti to work in an orphanage there. We'll work together, we'll play together, we'll sit down and take the 7 questions sit down with the Haitian nannies at the orphanage, and start a relationship building exercise with them. Okay, now this is the good part. You know, years ago I sat in a room like this and I watched a presentation on a mission trip to the Philippines. And halfway through I started to cry, hard to believe. Halfway through I started to cry and I said, God's calling me to go there. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how I'm going to afford the ticket. I don't know a lot of stuff, but I know that I'm supposed to go. So after the presentation, I went up and I said, take me. I have a feeling there's somebody in this room that feels the same way. If you're ready to get out of your comfort zone, if you're hearing a voice deep inside of you telling you it's time to let go and jump into the water with both feet, trust it and say yes. Don't get stuck in the web of what ifs. What if it costs too much? What if I get sick? What if my family can't live without me while I'm gone? Please consider the most important question. What if you say no? You might just be passing up an opportunity to be ambushed by joy. So trust that voice and meet me in the lobby at intermission under the Haiti poster and let the journey begin. Okay, anybody that knows me well knows that I cry. And this group saw me cry all during rehearsal. Well, I have to tell you that I'm going to do this. I have to tell you, you know, I use the term ambushed by joy a lot when I talk to the first half. I have been ambushed by joy tonight because I didn't know if one person would come to the Haiti booth to talk about this trip. And I have to tell you that 42 of you did. Now, that blows me away. I have to tell you, I'm not quite sure what to do about it. But I can tell you one thing we're going to do right off the bat. Carissa, come here. Carissa Kemna. Everybody here, let's hear it for Carissa. Okay, she is our Vanna White tonight. In this bucket are the 42 contact information forms that you guys sent out. I'm putting them back in the bucket because one of these people is going to go to Haiti for free. The Christie Foundation has generously agreed to send one of you with the team to Haiti. Now, we're going to take a few more, but somebody in here, in this room tonight, is going to get a chance to be ambushed by joy in Haiti in May. So if I call your name, I'm going to draw a card. When I call your name, raise your hand, and then we'll have this packet right here has all the information you're going to need to get you started, plus my phone number. So we will be out at the same Haiti table with this packet to congratulate you. So, drum roll or something. Okay, now, just so you know, all right, that's good. That's enough. That's really good. Okay, so just so you know, every one of these cards was put in a separate envelope and sealed. So we have no clue whose card's getting pulled out, I promise. So, all right, I got one. Hold this for a second. And I'm going to Haiti too, so this is going to be really fun, and Carissa is too. Oh my gosh, Mary White. Mary. Woo! Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Okay. So for the rest of you, we're going to keep all these names and numbers. We're going to come up with a system to pick the other ones we need for this trip. I am confident we'll be doing other trips. We'll keep you informed of that, and thank you so much.